morning. I am Jill Tighe. I am AOTA's PAC and Grassroots Specialist, and I'm here with
Abe Saffer, and I am one of AOTA's congressional lobbyists.
And we are here to answer some of your most asked questions about policy and advocacy. So, Abe, would you do the honors?
Would love to.
All right. First question.
What is the difference between a representative and a senator?
Ooh.
Well, the difference constitutionally is that a representative is elected for terms of 2 years, while a senator is elected for terms of 6 years. Senators represent an entire state, while representatives will just represent one small district or one district in a state. And sometimes those districts can be statewide if they only have one elected representative in Congress. So in the House, it's proportional by the number of representation you get is proportional by population. But in the Senate, everyone gets two seats and has two senators. So that's the main difference. But if you ask a member of the House and a member of the Senate what's the difference, they sort of they don't feel like there's any difference between them. They're both legislators.
Question number 2. When should I vote?
Joe?
I think you should vote at every opportunity. Once at every opportunity. It's a felony to vote more than once in the same election. But the first... Thank you. Stay safe, kids. The first Tuesday after November 1st is always election day, whether there's local elections, state elections, or federal elections. There's also primaries, which change based on your state and can be restricted by party that you are registered under. But vote often and make sure that your voice is heard is what I always say. And keep an eye out and stay involved.
Absolutely. And I will make a pitch to vote in the primaries because as we're recording this, actually there are multiple states having primaries. They go on all year, and so they'll before an election, and they generally will pick the candidates from each party that you're going to face in November. So if you're someone who always votes one party or the other, you don't want to be in a situation where come November you're faced between the candidates that you absolutely won't vote for and the one you're not thrilled to vote for. So if you vote in the primary, you can get the person in there that you really believe in.
Yeah.
So definitely vote and get active and get involved.
Mm-hmm. An informed voter makes a healthy democracy.
Mm-hmm.
Or like a PSA.
Is it better?
All right. Question number 3. Why is politics everywhere?
Because it should be.
Because it is. Because it just is.
It just, I mean, that's the way it is. It's politics whether or not we go to war. It's politics whether or not healthcare is funded, and it's politics or not whether sidewalks get put into a neighborhood. So politics is one of those things that is really confused because people look at it and they're saying, well, you know,
personal opinions,
but really it's people's beliefs, and it's how they want the world to be, and you can't really shape it unless you work to shape it. And so politics is one of those things that is everywhere by necessity.
And I say all the time that your members of Congress have the ability to legislate every part of your life. So the food you eat, the clothes you wear, the water you drink, everything is politics. So it's kind of your civic responsibility if you want to be an active member of society, to vote and to get involved and to make your voice heard. Because your representatives, they are your representatives. They stand in for you. So it's important for you to stand up and say, hey, I like this thing, or hey, I don't like this thing.
Well said.
Board number 2. Abe, would you do the honors?
I would love to.
All right, nailed it.
How do I find and contact my member of Congress?
Well, first you pull out a Where's Waldo book.
Then you find Waldo, and there you go.
No, but really, you can find your member of Congress on AOTA's Take Action page. So that's going to be www.aota.org/takeaction. That's our Legislative Action Center. And if you put in your address or your zip code, you can find out who represents you, and you can contact them straight through there.
And don't forget about your state legislators as well, because they're just as important for your day-to-day lives as members of Congress. So we don't want to discriminate there.
State and local leaders, so federal, state, local, all of it has the possibility to affect you.
Definitely.
All right, next one.
Number 2, or 5, or I lost count.
All right. What do I say to my member of Congress?
Anything you want. I would within decorum. I would personally recommend that you find a subject that you're passionate about, find something that impacts your life, and talk about that, because you're an expert on whatever you're planning on talking about, as long as it relates to your experience and how it affects you. So, as a lobbyist, I will go in and I will talk about policies and issues that affect AOTAs, but that's after studying it for hours and hours and reading tons of material. But for someone who is a citizen lobbyist, someone who's a citizen advocate, it's really important just to be able to go in and talk to your members, elected officials, I want to say more than just members of Congress, but elected officials, tell them what your life is and how something can be made better, or how something is affecting it, that either they are doing or not doing.
Tell your story.
Tell your story.
That's what they want to hear.
Yep.
That's what they want to hear. All right, number 3. All right, got it. Why would my member of Congress take a meeting with me? Because they're your member of Congress, yo.
And you're awesome.
Yeah, because you are the person who puts them in the job. Whether you vote for them or not, they represent you.
They work for you.
Exactly.
They take meetings with you also because they want to find out, they want to keep their jobs, and so they want to find out what's going on with their constituents, because you can very easily get insulated inside of whatever capital you're in, whether it's DC, they say you're inside the Beltway, or whether you're in a state capital. All you're doing is talking about what's going on in the state capital, and if you're not hearing from constituents, you can tend to kind of go off in a direction that maybe no one's following you. And so you want to make sure that you're able to find out what's important to your constituents, what's important to the voters who are going to return you to office. It's what most members want at the next election, whenever they're up again. So they'll take meetings from you. Why should they? Because they work for you, and that's their way of keeping their job, their performance review.
And the other thing is that your members of Congress, whether they're on your side or not of the aisle, they want to do their best to serve their constituents, because that's how they stay in office. So it's your responsibility to come to them if you have issues or questions or concerns, or especially if you like something. It's always nice to hear from a constituent that, yes, you're doing a good job.
They love that. That's my favorite part. When someone tells me they love what I'm doing too, but members, elected officials love that probably more than me.
Oh yeah. All right, next board. My bad.